at A Financial Bullseye. Andrew, welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
And I'd just like to give you a little book, a plug, your big book, Andrew Lendall's Gold Start, Teaching Your Child About Money. It's an excellent book, and basically what we're talking about today is one of the chapters in there, which is setting financial goals. What age would kids be even understanding about financial goals?
Well, I think it's, in particular, I always use my daughter as an example because she's a good case study and a prototype.
Yes.
We sort of started basic goals between about from 5 years on, but really now that she's 7,
yes,
it's really starting to, those goals are starting to be cemented in her mind that much more, and we'll talk about shortly about why that's actually started to work for her.
So when you talk about goals, are these things that she would write down or you would discuss as a family and you would write down?
A mixture of both, really, because you want to give children the freedom to set their own goals. And one thing that I work with children on, and my daughter in particular, is making sure that they're SMART goals. So
yeah, that's your acronym, isn't it?
Exactly. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timely.
Right, so you have a time frame on them. I mean, give me an example of your prototype daughter. You've obviously done this with her. What, for example, would be a goal that she came up with on her own?
Well, it's things, materialistic things normally,
yes,
kids like.
So like, I want to buy a doll by Friday.
Exactly. Or meet Justin Bieber.
How is that a financial goal?
So it's, for example, going to the States. So currently she's in the States with my wife, and she said, well, Daddy, when I'm there, will I be able to see Selena Gomez, or will I be able to see Justin Bieber, or whoever I come across?
Yes.
It might not be that realistic, but from their perspective, it is something that they say, well, they attribute going overseas as part of travel, and seeing all these wonderful things they see on TV.
So that, to me, is not achievable, though.
No, it's...
I mean, do you think she's going to get to meet Justin Bieber?
Well,
Funny I should
they
mention
actually
it.
knocked into Brad Pitt. So,
You're joking.
so I know he's a favourite of yours, but so maybe
Where did
not
they see
Justin
him?
Bieber. Yeah, it was actually at a Starbucks in LA. So.
And did they talk to him?
No, they're too shy. I needed to be there. Yeah.
That is so funny. So, I mean, that to me is a little bit out there, but the practical things, like buy something by a certain date.
Yeah, a guitar or a computer game or a magazine of some sort. It needs to be something which they can actually reach out and grab. And a lot of times when you're teaching your children about how to set goals, work with them to set little goals in the early days rather than something far-fetched, because then they get a bit demotivated. Whilst if you've got smaller goals which are attainable and achievable, i.e. not Justin Bieber
or Brad Pitt
even though that happened, then it's they feel far more confident and it's more motivating that way.
Something that you've talked about, which I think is really nice about your teaching, is that there's a bit of philanthropy. And you say New Zealanders particularly don't think about that as a part, although wonderful, well done to Rosie Horton, who got her damehood, and she's an amazing philanthropist. Should you be teaching children about giving to people less fortunate?
Well, I think a lot of children are actual natural philanthropists, especially now with the Christchurch earthquake and the earthquake and tsunami in Japan and all other natural events that are happening. So they're seeing it everywhere. And schools are great for that as well, because there's always some cause at, whether it's a mufti day or so. So I know from my own experience, my daughter's quite a natural philanthropist. So when you're walking down and even though the collectors aren't allowed to shake their tins these days.
Are they not?
No, it's, you're not allowed to do it. You're enticing someone to give money if you do that. So you're not allowed to do that.
I didn't know that. How long's that been in place?
Oh, it must be for years now. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So is that why they actually never approach you?
No, they don't walk up and they can't shake it, because it's, you need to give it off your own accord. And so my daughter always says, well, let's put some coins in, because that's that Red Cross, or that's this, or that's that.
So she does know that?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't know that side, that they weren't allowed to entice. So come up, I suppose it's harassment. I suppose that would be what people would think. We've got to talk about this because it's brilliant. This is your... What do you call it?
Dream board or a vision board.
Can you show? Let's show. Well, I'll hold it up. Right, let me hold it up. This is the kids' version, and you'll notice Justin Bieber's in there. There he is. Of our director, who's an older man, he might not know who Justin Bieber is. There he is. Just kidding, Al. Just kidding. So what's this? So what's this saying?
Well, it's very much a focusing system. It's if you have goals and if you've got your dreams, and dreams You need to have goals for the dreams to become reality. If you don't have them in a picture format or on the wall, it's out of sight, out of mind.
So this is just, I mean, this is lovely. You know, the Justin Bieber is all good, but you've got the family there too,
Yeah,
which is really important.
So obviously my daughter here, it's like the family travelling around the world or travelling to a specific country. Like currently she's visiting her grandmother or grandparents with my wife, and so that was a goal that she's had for years. She was talking about that. But also she likes to play guitar, so she's got wanted a guitar as a goal, so she's saving a bit of money. Then we have a matching system. She wants a mobile phone. She's not going to get that mobile phone that quickly, but like
that's a goal.
The time frame might be when she's 32 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very well said, Andrew. Thank you so much for coming in.
Welcome.
And again, I'll just remind everyone, Gold Start, great book to help teach your kids about money. Very important to start them early. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Andrew.
Sarah.
Coming up, Kerry Woodham's in with her pick of June's books. That's right after the break.